Yep, very.
Call this meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. If you would, please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shane Childers present.
Lori Reese is present.
Ben Stokes present via Zoom.
Approved meeting minutes for 6/3/2025, regular meeting minutes.
Meeting minutes of 6/3/2025. Minutes.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Since Ben is participating remotely for votes, including for that, you gotta do a call. So just redo it and have Lori name everybody and they indicate acceptance or their aye.
Approved meeting minutes for 6/3/2025, regular meeting minutes.
Cookie. Richard. Aye. Good week, okay. Shane Childers.
Aye.
Ben Stokes.
Aye.
Approved claims, July 2025 docket.
I move we approve the claims of the July 2025 docket. Carol, okay. Carol Lee.
You gotta get a
I'll
second
second.
first.
Sorry.
You gotta get a second first, sorry.
All in favor? Now, Lori.
Carol Lee. Aye. Shane Childers.
Aye.
Ben Stokes.
Aye.
Public request to speak not related to an agenda item. Move on to unfinished business. Receive bids for the NDOT water sewer relocation project.
We received one bid from PAF Construction LLC.
Bid is $363,906.
So my name is Chris Bronson with HWC Engineering. So this is for the State Route 75 relocation project. So we received one bid. We'll take this under advisement. We'll go back and review everything and come back to you guys with a recommendation to move forward or to reject the bid if we find any math errors. So we'll come back here in about a week and provide a written assessment.
Yeah, I would do a motion in a second and move to take it.
I'll make a motion to take the bid of PAF under advisement.
I'll second.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'm sorry.
You're right.
Okay. Yeah. I move we accept.
Or no,
No, tell me.
take it under advisement.
Take it up.
Take under advisement. PAF Construction LLC bid.
I'll second. All in favor? Lori?
Carol Lee. Aye. Shane Childers.
Aye.
Ben Stokes.
Aye.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-08, surplus equipment for the fire department. Whereas the town council of the town of Jamestown, Indiana met at a duly called and authorized meeting of the council and has determined that the following items is no longer needed. It should be declared surplus and disposed of according to Indiana law. Now therefore, the town council of Jamestown, Indiana states as follows: the following items is declared to be surplus property and shall be disposed of according to Indiana Code 5-22-22. Ice storage machine. I gotta read these serial numbers.
It's.
Air compressor, gear washer, light bar, 2 hand lights, and a thermal camera. All of which is resolved this first day of July 2025.
Accepting this surplus items. Whereas resolution 2025-8.
I'll second. All in favor?
Carol Lee. Aye. Shane Childers.
Aye.
And Ben Stokes.
Aye.
Third quarter electric rate tracking factor.
So rate adjustment applicable to the above listed rates will be 0.004098 per kilowatt per month, which is an increase of 0.001165 per kilowatt hour, which translates to, what's the average? So So basically for 500 kilowatts, it's 58 cents more. For 1,500, it's $1.75.
And the average consumer uses what?
Somewhere in between the two.
Any questions? Entertaining a motion to accept the third quarter 2025 tracking factor.
I move. We accept the 2025. Third quarter, rate. Related utilities.
Great tracking.
Electric rate tracking.
I'll second. All in favor?
Carol Lee. Aye. Shane Childers.
Aye.
Ben Stokes.
Aye.
On, consider the Comcast pole rental agreement.
As I reported last month, Patrick and I sat for 2 hours on Teams meeting with them, going basically line item by line item. They finally returned, like right before our council meeting last month, the revised version. I reviewed it, Patrick's reviewed it, everything that we discussed is in there. So this gives our favorable recommendations to you guys. Once this is approved, basically, we send it back to them for their signatures on it, and then they have to start submitting full loading, the application fees, all that fun stuff. So then they can start getting the ball rolling on getting here in town.
I do have a question for
Yes.
you, or actually Patrick. Page 14. I see that they have stricken Boone County, Indiana, or Hendricks County, Indiana. Whether state or federal, a competent jurisdiction located in Boone County, Indiana, and Hendricks County, Indiana has been stricken. What does that mean?
If there's ever a dispute over any issue with this contract, and somebody sues the other one, so the town will sue Comcast, or they sue the town because of some obligation in this agreement that wasn't being fulfilled, that relates to where that lawsuit can be filed. We had proposed a change that it be limited that any lawsuit would have to be filed in Boone County or Hendricks County. They had a much broader interpretation that it should be able to be filed pretty much, any with my recollection, it had a broader scope to it, and then we kind of narrowed it to Indiana. So that was sort of the result of the back and forth dialogue. Realistically speaking, it relates to if there's a lawsuit where that. So.
I figured as much. That's what I took out of it. If there was ever a lawsuit, I'm not real thrilled about sending you to Fort Wayne. Because that will be the taxpayers' money.
Or Evansville.
The, one thing that I would know as well on that provision is that prior to the lawsuit being filed, this would have to intent to resolve. So, ultimately, if the town would like, I'd be happy to go back and say, hey, the council wants the venue to be limited to Boone County or Hendricks County, and see what they say before we're moving it. That's totally at the discretion of you guys as the town council.
Josh?
Well, as Patrick said, I viewed it as a win considering they went in other states. So we settled in the state of Indiana. So it was a compromise that was made.
I mean, we've had the polls for how long and we haven't been there, but
I'm just looking at getting something better for internet around here than what we have.
I
So-
understand, but I don't want to.
I don't think I personally don't feel like it compromises us. I understand if you think that somehow, somewhere down the road, there's a litigation problem that has to come up. It's rare and very, very far in between that something like that comes up when it comes to poll attachments. So again, I just felt like it was a compromise that was said, but that is your decision, not mine, not Patrick's. That is your guys' decision. We just negotiated the best we could.
Ben, you have any questions?
No, not at this time, I don't.
And a motion to approve the whole rental agreement. Get my paper back down there with you. And my signed papers.
There we go.
Thank you.
Make a motion. Approve the Comcast whole rental agreement.
I'll second. All in favor?
Carol Lee. Aye. Shane Childers.
Aye.
Ben Stokes.
Aye.
Discuss the volunteer fire department incorporated contract. Recently went through a ISO rating thing. By ISO, June 6th. I was mailed a certified letter to the town. It was addressed to me. I never had any contact with these people whatsoever. It says, we wish to thank you. I've never spoken to them prior to this. Chief Matt Weaver and others for your cooperation. I do not know any others in the PPC. We are not implementing the class change at this time. Before we make this change, we would like to offer you the opportunity to develop a program to retain your prior public protection classification. If you choose to participate, we request that you acknowledge this letter in writing within 30 days. If no response is received, you will have the opportunity to participate in the retrogression program, and your survey will be published as the retrogressed classification. The PPC program is not intended to analyze all aspects of the comprehensive structural fire suppression delivery system program. It is not for purposes of ensuring compliance with any state, local law, nor is it for making loss prevention or life safety recommendations. If you have any questions, please let them know. I responded to this email directly. I responded in an email directly after receiving the letter. What we're going to go through this evening is not an attack on Matt Weaver. It is not an attack on the Jamestown Fire Department, Volunteer Fire Department. It is a situation that the town is in, and it has to be rectified. Reason for me presenting what I'm going to present this evening is so that the council can make a decision on how they wish to proceed. Our PPC was last done December 28, 2015. Jamestown was scored as a 6/6Y. In this survey, we scored a 10. That is the highest number you can possibly score. With that, I will ask Tim to come up and explain to the community what that means for the citizens of Jamestown and the citizens of southern Jackson Township. And that is a population of 1,950 people that are fixing to possibly what Tim has to tell us.
Okay.
And the reason, hang on one second, the reason Tim is here is in the retrogression overview, it gives us steps to take. One of the first steps was to respond to the email. Another top priority step was to contact our insurance agent. So Doug was contacted. Doug had a family emergency this afternoon, and he has sent Tim in his place. And Tim is the local agent of town. So if stop by and see for some homeowners insurance.
On Wednesdays. I get the Wednesday shift at the Jamestown office. So, are you ready for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My name's Tim Shoemaker, and I'm with PGH Insurance, based out of Lebanon. They have an office, we had an office in Jamestown, had to move from one location to another. Now we're right up here on the main street. The address, right next to the restaurant. There you go. Yeah, been loving that color. Anyhow, I've been involved in insurance for over 20 years. Prior and during that, I've been involved in local government, as far as municipalities, what these guys do. I'm a county commissioner. So I've been in and out of this for a long time. So first of all, I'd like to say a 6 rating for the Jamestown Fire Department is awesome. That means that, you know, at one time, they were really doing great, and that's very, very important to maintain that rating, because in the insurance world, your homeowner rates could double going from a 6 to a 10. And that's the big thing. That's why we're here. That's homeowners, businesses, anybody that is in fire protection, it could double. It's definitely going to increase your insurance dramatically. But a double to me is just crazy in today's world with insurance. It's high already. Insurance is high already. I would, and I know the fire department will, I know the town will, we'll all work together, whatever it takes, to maintain that rating, because it is very, very important. And it's better to find out now than if you lost it in a year and you get your homeowners paperwork, and you're like, what in the world happened? There'll be a lot of angry and upset constituents. So, applaud the work that the fire department does. It's hard to get volunteers. You gotta remember, this is a volunteer fire department. It's hard to get people to pay it and work, let alone get them to show up for all the training that these guys have to go through. It is a huge commitment. So, that being said, the 6 rating's great. Let's get to work and keep it, and we'll be in good shape.
I have one question for you.
Yes, sir.
You touched on everything, but one thing that Doug stated.
Okay.
Doug stated that the rates would double. And he says that a lot of companies will not insure a 10.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a chance.
There's a chance
that
to
a
lose
number
your
of people
homeowners, yeah.
could have their insurance dropped. Is that a correct statement?
Yes. Yep. So, and more so on the business end than homeowners, but yeah, we have companies that will not insure homes that intend fire. So, yes.
Now, we have a certain amount of time to work on it. Is this what
Yes,
you're
that's-
saying?
Yeah, that's all between ISO, the fire department, and you guys.
You-
I have nothing to do with
I
it.
just
Yeah.
wanted to know if you knew.
Oh, yeah, they've offered to, you're kind of on a probation period right now, and they've offered to work with you. And I insure other fire departments over in the western part of the state, and if you guys need any help, we've got some great fire chiefs over there. Not that you do, just saying, if you do, they're about the same size you guys are, so we could connect you. You probably might already know them, so.
But we do have some amount of time to work on it, as far as you know, since you.
Yeah, yep. Just what Shane read was what they're gonna give you and, you know, we wanna get in there and do it because you don't want to mess with these people. They're the, on fire, districts, they're the order. So nobody can overrule.
Ben, did you have anything?
No, I don't think so. I think he addressed pretty much from what I've understood the last couple of weeks that I've kind of been looking into it, talking to some other, fire department people that I know. It's just a bad situation for about, any town that has a volunteer fire department. It's really kind of an unfair system, but it's the system we have to deal with. And, we have to, in my mind, do whatever we can do to get the situation corrected. But yeah, I think you've explained it as well as it can be and what's happening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A community has 12 months from the date of notification to attempt to regain their classification. Communities need to provide a letter of intent to participate in the retrogression within 30 days, which I have sent the email. A plan of improvement must be provided within 60 days. I don't know what the plan of improvement is just yet, but I have been working on one. Quarterly updates will need to be provided by the community in order to continue participating in the retrogression program. So this is telling me that this is a severe time restraint situation, and we do not have a lot of time to be wasting. The other things in here are just reiterating that, your time frame, your initial 30 days. All communities will be offered one 60-minute teleconference with your retrogression analysis to discuss any concerns or questions about the overall process. This phone call is highly suggested that all pertinent parties be in attendance, including the fire department and the highest ranking community official. Additional teleconferences will be considered upon necessity. All other communication will be made by email. Receiving the letter. So on Tuesday, March 26th of 2024, there was an email sent to the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department from Chuck Batts at the Lebanon Firehouse. And he is offering on June 7th, a class, an 8-hour class to help fire departments with their PPC class. Did you attend?
I didn't even know, I didn't hear, didn't see that email. If I would have attended.
So we'll move on to Friday, September 20th at 8 a.m. Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department will send an email with the packet, the pre-survey documentation that ISO is requiring from your fire department. Again, I just want to reiterate, that was sent on September 20th, 2024. October 26th, 2024. Excuse me. On October 17th, 2024, John Beard sends the volunteer fire department an email. Can you give me an update on the pre-survey package? Now I want to back up because I forgot to highlight something about your pre-survey packet on the 24th or the 20th, 2024. Good morning. Please bring to work on these documents. I will check back with you in 4 weeks. See if you have them completed. That's the email that is sent with the pre-survey documentation. September 20th, 2024. October 17th, 2024. Can you give me an update on the pre-survey documents I sent out last month? Have you been able to work on these items? October 26th, 2024, an email from the Jamestown Fire Department. John, sorry I haven't gotten back, been very busy. Got the documents and will be filling them out shortly. Sorry for the inconvenience, feel free to call me anytime. Now, what I feel is important in this situation is we've already burnt 6 weeks. He gave me 4 weeks to fill out the paperwork. He responded back on the 17th, and 9 days later, he responds back that I haven't gotten back to you. I will be filling them out. They were supposed to be filled out 2 weeks prior. Are you following, Ben?
Yeah, Shane, I'm right there with you.
On Monday, November 11th, John Beard sends the volunteer fire department an email that says, can you confirm the March 3rd, 9 a.m. time to meet? And I assume he's meeting at the fire station with the fire chief. Confirm that with me if you can, thanks. That was November 11th. December 13th, 2024. Excuse me, December 6th, 2024. Almost a month later. The first notice was November 11th. The second notice is December 6th. Can you confirm the appointment on March 3rd? There is never a response. December 13th, a week later, email was sent to the Jamestown Fire Department. Third attempt at confirming March 3rd, 9 a.m. can you confirm this time and date for me? After third attempt, I must submit a non-cooperation, so get back to me when you can. I'll try to give you a call as well. This is 30 days later. 5 days after that email, there was an email sent from the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department on December 18th. Put it on my calendar. We have been told, I have questioned how things are ran at the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department for over 2 years. Matt Bieber was installed as the fire chief. I had a conversation with Matt Bieber outside this town building on what we were working with Jimmy Heaston. The response that we got was, this takes time. I have continued to ask questions about operations, certifications, and training at the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department for the last 18 months. And the response that I get from the podium to the council is, it's a volunteer organization, you can't make people volunteer, and everything takes time. I want to get into the pre-survey detailed application that was filled out by the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department. It's a contact information list. The first line is office, chief administrative official, manager, mayor, etc. They have filled in not applicable. Chief administration official number 2. My opinion, that would be your clerk treasurer. Not applicable. Matt did fill in his name for the fire chief, 911 communications director, and he did fill out Josh Hawkins' phone number. Breakdown of the calls on the second page. Select for the past year, for the past 12 previous months. This is the timeline he wrote in his packet. From 1/2024 to 12 of 2024. This packet was given to him on 9 of 24. How can the dates don't match up? He's 3 months ahead. The packet is quite concerning. There's 46 unanswered questions in this packet alone. 46. Ben, you following?
Yes, I'm with you, Shane.
Then he received a pre-survey community risk reduction packet. On this packet alone, 2 pages, there's 40 unanswered questions. And I got a lot of questions about this because I know, being involved with the town, that when we apply for building permits, they go through the fire department. Fire department for review. He has to accept or deny. What percentage of new non-residential construction, remodel, and additions receive a occupancy permit? Didn't even fill it out. I'm not going to take up your whole evening by going through all of these. This is just some examples. I have examples on every page. We have to figure it out. I mean, in this particular packet of community risk reduction, There is indicate which fire prevention ordinances below have been adopted. He has wildland, urban interface. I don't even know what that is, so I had to Google it. Urban wildlife interface refers to the zone where human development, such as homes and businesses, meet or intermingles with undeveloped wildland vegetations like forests and grassland. Do not believe we have anything as such. I can't find anything as such. Can't find any ordinances related to wildland interface. On the last pre-application, apparatus and equipment. I find it concerning that he marks that we have an aerial device type, ladder or platform tested. He marks yes. Test interval every 2 years. Yes. I did not know we had a ladder or platform truck. I just do not know enough about firefighting. But there's a possibility that there are 38 unanswered questions on this one page. So with that being said, out of the 3 pages, there is 89 to 124 unanswered questions on our ISO rating scorecard, only pertaining to the fire department. I had a phone call with Mr. Beard on 6/23 at 11 a.m. less than 27 minutes. I really wanted to see the papers that were filed with ISO. And Mr. Beard said that I would have to obtain those from the fire department. He does his thing and then he destroys them. He said most communities have a good working relationship with their fire department. They can just call and they will forward them right to them. He went on to say, I understand that you and Matt do not get along or do not talk. Kind of disheartening. But I just want to point out that these are the things that the man told me. Because I wanted to start working on correcting this immediately. And he told me, he said, you cannot move on to Josh's water department. Josh was never contacted for his water department. You cannot move on until you have a plan for A and B first. A, responding members, state requirement, 4. 4 members responding to a fire-related call, structure fire-related calls. 4, smoke, dryer, kitchen, whatever it may be. Jamestown, 1.5. He had severe concern that there were some zeros on that report. B is he requested 4 to 5 years, 12-hour training for our members of our fire department. We have no training. We have a 0. I said, you know, is it because it's not certified training? Is it because of poor record keeping? What's that from? I cannot answer that question. They could not provide training. He did tell me, he said, Shane, you can start correcting this in July. You just have your training down at the fire station. You start getting it recorded. Whatever, you have 1-hour training session and you can start right then in July. So I believe there's hope. But at the end of the day, John Beard will not have any further conversations with me. It's between with the retrogression ISO team. And it would be that phone call and emails after that. I'd also like to point out, in the most recent time, that Sunday, June 1st, 2025, Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department was emailed by the building inspector for the fire chief to review Guernsey's Knockout Customs building, new building being built. Sunday, June 1st, Shannon sent an email to the fire department. June 4th, wanted to follow up on my email over the weekend regarding Cameron Guernsey's project. She goes on to say what she's needing. I texted Ben. No, I sent an email to Ben and Cookie and said that this is another reason why we need to do something different. On June 20th, 2025 at 10:40 at night, Matt emails Shannon and says, "Hey, sorry, I overlooked your email. Please feel free to give me a call anytime. This is the best way to reach me." I looked over the fire extinguisher location and it looks like it's all per code. Are there any concerns that you see or find in the drawings? He wishes they would put in a Knox box. We sat on a permit for a new construction building for 3 weeks. 3 weeks because the email was overlooked. I have a stack of emails that I've just read to you that have been overlooked. Ignored, overlooked, neglected. The town of Jamestown, it's unfair to the town of Jamestown, it's unfair to the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department organization. It's unfair to the 1,950 citizens that you serve. I want to go on to the fire contract with Jackson Township. The council signed a contract with the Jackson Township trustee to provide fire service to the southern half of Jackson Township. Over the last 18 months, when 911 is called for someone in our service area, dispatch pages, Jamestown Fire Department, Advance Fire Department, Lisbon Fire Department. And it's my understanding, the second page, Pittsburgh Fire Department. And there have been, I do not know how many, there has been a numerous occasions of where Jamestown is not responding at all. Advance, Lisbon, Pittsburgh are the fire stations responding to Jamestown. I have been waiting, and I have shared my concern with both council members that I have been waiting for a neighboring community to come over here during a council meeting and ask for money because they're constantly over here. Now, with that being said, I have asked numerous times in the last 2 years about our fire department not responding. And the response I get is, we can't make them come, we can't make them volunteer, but we have mutual aid with other departments, correct?
Correct.
In this form right here, it asks,
May I speak on half of those forms you're looking at there?
pardon me,
May I speak on half of those forms you're looking at there? Those forms you're looking at are what I sent over to you as a courtesy. The forms that were actually filled out and filed were done at Jamestown Fire with John Beard and sent out. I never seen a copy of it. Those are the forms he gave me originally, but I sat down and filled them out with John. So I don't have the original copies.
well, okay. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you. I told you this was not an attack on Matt Beaver, but if you want to make it an attack, I will gladly oblige you.
I'm not
I
trying to
want to
attack.
be professional, and I want to be courteous to the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department.
I'm trying to provide the truth on that. I sat down with John.
And I will get that to you here in just a second. Because I'm going to read the email that I sent. Probably buried because of all the conversation. But I sent out an email and I asked for any documentation that you have submitted. Correct?
Yes, and I don't have the documentation I submitted. I gave you the documentation I had.
You did not respond to that in the email. And you responded to that last night, right?
Yes,
That was yesterday.
Shane, could I ask a quick question to Matt?
Yep, absolutely.
Matt, were they all filled out like online, or did you physically have to print them out and write them in?
they were either, I could print them out, I could fill them out, but I sat down there at the fire station with John and filled them out and went through.
And there were no copies or anything given to you? I mean, that's,
There were no copies. He asked for copies of our runs and our training. And I went and found those, and we went through them, and I gave them to him.
okay. It's concerning that with a document of that magnitude, there wouldn't be some sort of a copy. It's just concerning. That's all, Matt.
He also said, when we were done, that he was gonna send me a list of things that he was gonna ask me to do. And I have not seen or heard of an email from him. I've tried to contact him a few times after that, to see what there was, and was very diligent about watching my email for that. I never got another email from him.
Okay, that's fine. I was just curious. Just curious to me. Thanks.
Good?
Yes.
June 23rd, I had a phone conversation with Mr. Beard who performed the evaluation. I have some limited information as he couldn't disclose. And we will need to obtain that from the fire department. Original pre-survey documents, records submitted. Goes on and on and on. Information for the decisions on how the council wants to proceed. Matt, can you forward submitted documents, reports used for this evaluation? Those would include what was filled out and submitted in the following: the pre-survey detailed contact information, the pre-community risk reduction packet, I go on with a couple others. Mr. Beard will be sending me an email outlining a couple other things that will need to be addressed shortly. And I wanted to send this out to start gathering information. Please let me know if you have any questions. Give me a few days and I will get all that info that I possibly can. At that point in time, you should have said, hey man, I filled this out with him. I don't have copies of nothing, but you did it. You replied to this. So I want to keep reading. So you then forwarded, or no, you sent out an email with 4 attachments to that and said that this is what you had. And thanks, Matt. Here is all the paperwork that me and John went through. The packet I started to fill out, and John said he would take it, and I assumed fill out. And my reply to you, because I don't understand, I do not see any date on when this was submitted, and these packets aren't completed. Surely this wasn't submitted. You then replied back. John said he would fill them out.
Yeah.
And I said, I do not understand why someone who is grading us would fill out paperwork about our department operations, staffing, equipment, etc. He has absolutely no knowledge of what goes on in that fire department in your organization. This doesn't even make sense. And to me, a logical thinking person, I don't think it makes sense to either. But I replied, at this point, it is, if this is all you have, it is what it is. And I can't sit here and fret over spilt milk, but I will make my point that the job that you are doing isn't getting us anywhere. So, with that being said, I want to move on to the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department contract. I have highlighted our contract with you, and I'm going to go over 9 things. 1.2, personnel. The department agrees to provide personnel in order to provide the services and shall incorporate the town's emergency personnel. All volunteers providing emergency services shall be certified as required by applicable local, state, and federal law as required by state administrative codes and regulations or as a condition of insurability. Now, everything that I read through in the next few minutes, what I feel is a violation, a direct violation of the contract that we have signed with the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department. And the reason volunteers providing emergency shall be certified in their certification packet. There is no training. They have a 0 in training. And that is on your ISO paper, on your report card. So it is not a misprint in this stuff. It's not a misprint in this stuff. It's right there, training 0. So as far as I know, according to this ISO rating, we have 0 firefighters at that facility that are trained because you have a 0 in training. Maintain licenses and certifications. The department shall obtain within a reasonable time, and no event shall a reasonable time extend beyond January 1, 2025. Provider licenses, certifications, and training records, and shall keep said licenses, certifications, and training records in force as required by applicable local, state, and federal law, as required by the state administrative code. As a condition for insurability, and shall provide copies of the same to the town. Again, we cannot prove that they have certification. Training. The department agrees that all personnel of the department shall comply with Indiana code as outlined by the Indiana Board of Firefighting Personnel Standards and Education, and will continue the effort to provide volunteer personnel with required training for the purpose of maintaining the skill, proficiency, and training level of its personnel, trainees, and emergency vehicle operators at levels sufficient to satisfy no less than the minimum course requirements of applicable federal and state statutes, administrative codes, and regulations, conditions of insurability. Again, it goes back to training, 0. Maintain records. The fire department shall continue to prepare and maintain necessary records and meet all reporting requirements imposed by federal, state, county authorities, insurance carriers. Again, I do have that on here somewhere. It does fall under you maintaining records. You do not have the records to produce for the ISO rating. Annual budget. The department will provide a budget that includes projected expenses, actual expenses, and anticipated expenditures relating to the town equipment, the town vehicles, and the real estate each year to the town and the department. Agrees to work with the clerk treasurer on creating an itemization of other items in said budget. The annual budget shall be submitted to the county council no later than April 1 of this year. I have not received that. Did you produce that?
No, I have not, but I also am going to sit down with Lori later on this month.
But Matt, this is your contract that you negotiated. It's what you wanted, and you're not following. Maintenance records. Maintenance records of the town vehicles and the town equipment shall be kept by the department and submitted to the town as received, but at least in a biannual basis on the first day of January and the first day of June. Each year during the agreement remains in effect. Have you produced that?
You guys get the same maintenance records I get from when they, M&F Mobile come out and do repairs and stuff. You guys see the bills, the maintenance records are the bills.
Maintenance records of the town vehicles and town equipment shall be kept by the department and submitted to the town as received, but at least on a biannual basis of the first day of January and the first day of June of each year during an agreement. Have you done that?
No, I have not.
SOGs shall be kept, updated, acknowledged, and signed by each active member of the department and submitted to the town on an annual basis on the first day of June each year during which agreement remains in effect. Have you done that?
I have not submitted the records yet.
The purchase of additional town equipment or the repair of town equipment shall be done at the sole and absolute discretion of the town. Now, I have said over and over that you are not a department head. You cannot approve, spend. You cannot approve anything. You can't spend anything without it coming through the council or Ben. I've said that many, many times, and you do not like that. And you said, it's art stuff, why can't I just do it? Is that fair or unfair?
And a point, yes, and a point, no.
Okay.
Sometimes when equipment breaks, they have to be fixed very quickly. And I do get a hold of Ben as soon as something breaks and let him know. And it also states in the contract that if anything over $500 on repairs or adjustments to the trucks, I can do.
No, it doesn't.
Look in the contract.
I have the contract, man.
It's in there. If we want to make any adjustments to the trucks, up to $500.
Adjustments. That isn't repairs. So if you want to put a new light bar on there that's under $500, you can. And Ben, you correct me if I'm wrong, if that wasn't discussed during the contract negotiations.
Yes, we did discuss that.
So move on to the town shall enter into and approve all contracts related to maintenance of the town equipment. Early termination. Except as provided in section 1.1 of this agreement, in the event that the parties fail to refuse to comply with any of the provisions of this agreement during any term this agreement is in effect, the other party may terminate this agreement upon providing the defaulting party with written notice of such failure or refusal. The notice shall provide the defaulting party with a period of 15 days to cure the default. If the defaulting party does not cure the default within the 15-day period, this agreement shall be terminated effectively 30 days after the written notice of default was received. I do not want to terminate the contract with the fire department at this time. Real estate, not vehicle. The department shall not cause or permit any alterations, additions, or changes of or upon any part of the real estate to the extent said modification exceeds $500 without the consent of the town. Real estate, the property. I have prepared plan. Day and night. Constantly. The town could terminate agreement with the volunteer fire department in 30 days. The town could come up with a mutual aid agreement with a neighboring department to cover the town of Jamestown, while the town of Jamestown creates its own Jamestown Fire Department. We can continue with the fire department as is. Like, continue with the fire department, Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department, to allow town insertion. Or we could terminate your contract, and I feel very confident that I could terminate your contract in 30 days on 9 things that I feel is in violation of the contract. Town of Jamestown holds the right to appoint a chief to the volunteer fire department. However, Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department, you're your own entity. We have no control over you. You can give me the bird and walk out the door and stuff. I would like to see happen to appoint a chief to the fire department, and that chief will be considered a department head to the town council. He will be responsible for making sure that the town has all of our equipment tested, certified, the building is in shape, and to maintain records. And for that to happen, the chief appointed by the council would have to work hand in hand with the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department. So he would ask you for records. You would have to produce them. Now, this is where it gets fuzzy, because I put a chief in there. If we put a chief in there and he says, okay, we need to get started on these training records, and he lays out a training regimen, theoretically, you could tell him to go take a hike. But I would hope that for the better of Southern Jackson Township, our surrounding communities, and the people of the town of Jamestown, is that you work with the person and make sure that you're all headed in the same direction. Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department, the town needs you, and we need your help. This is my opinion and Shane Childress' opinion only. You do not have a competent leader. I feel that I have laid out many instances on failed paperwork. Feel I have laid out many instances on the incompetence of your chief on emails that have gone up to 30+ days. He was given the opportunity to prepare for this in March, attended class in June, and it was done. You elected him as your chief. The same that the people of this community elected me as a council member. This phone goes everywhere I go, except when I go fishing. But I will tell you this, that when I go fishing, anybody in here that emails this council phone, I put a message that says, I will be out of the office until such and such date. If this needs immediate attention, please call the town building. I take my job very, very seriously. And I understand that everyone doesn't participate as I do. I am 110% all the time, and I know that other people are not. And that's okay, but I think, and I do believe, that you do not have to have this phone with you at all times. You know, Miss Cookie checks her emails twice a day. She checks them in the morning and in the evening. Now, she may check them in between there, I do not know, but I know that that's when I get responses from Miss Cookie. Ben checks his emails sporadically through the day. I do not see a problem with asking someone to respond to emails in 24 hours. So, I have, in the last 2 years, reached out to a Pike Township fire chief and asked him for guidance on helping me fix Jamestown Fire Department. I sat in that room back there, and he gave me a list of stuff. And he used to live in this community. Won't get involved. I contacted the chief of the Zionsville Fire Department. Met with him in that room back there. And he gave me some promising things to look into, some questions to ask. I never heard another word from him. I've reached out to a couple other people that are fire department people, and I don't get nothing. So I have spoken to a lifetime member of this community. March 1st, 1996, he became a firefighter with Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department. In August 2008, he became a full-time fireman. He worked at Witham Hospital on the ambulance from 2004 to 2008. His certifications are Firefighter 1, 1998, he became a Firefighter 2. These are certifications. He is a Fire Officer 1. He is a Driver Pumper Operator. He has an Instructor 1 certification. He has a certifications for strategies and tactics. He has hazmat and awareness certification. He is a licensed paramedic. He has fire hazmat operations. He has fire technical rescue. Your National Incident Management System, NIMS. There are 6 certifications and he has 4. He served as Assistant Chief for the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department for almost 7 years. That person's name is Joe Weeder. For the last 2 years, whether it was 10 o'clock at night or midnight, Joe would answer my phone. He would answer the phone at 7 o'clock in the morning. He's the only person that would converse with me and work with me and help guide me. And I think that Joe would be a good fit to appoint as the chief of the Jamestown Fire Department. And with that, I have pretty much laid out the hours that I've spent working on this and the 500 trees that I killed to give you all packets. So, listen to what Ben or Cookie either one have to say.
Yeah, I have gone back and forth with this. the last couple weeks or so that I've known, of how serious a situation we've got ourselves into. Um, and Matt, I hate that you would think that anybody would want to attack you. I know it's a difficult position to have to, report to the town, and I get it. You guys are volunteer. I get that as well. But as a fire department, a volunteer fire department, it's it falls back on your, the way I look at it, your past chiefs, your past membership, for you guys to not, put the new incoming chief into the best possible situation moving forward each time. That kind of comes back on you guys in my mind for not having, all of this stuff already ironed out. It's not like ISO is a new thing. That's kind of on you guys as a volunteer fire department, putting, Matt, you in that situation. And I hate that for you, because I think you're a great person. I think you're a great guy. I think you have more desire to do that than I ever would. I mean, that's just not in my DNA. And I know it takes a special person to be a volunteer fire department, let alone somebody that wants to risk their neck for nothing. I mean, I get it. But, being a town council and seeing what, is coming down the pipeline and seeing what may potentially happen to people in the community, that's a bad situation just for, anybody that would be in the position that the three of us are in. And I wouldn't want that on anybody, because that's, to double or triple or even drop the potential of dropping somebody's home insurance is, I mean, that can be, that's just catastrophic in my mind. And I don't even, wish that we didn't have to deal with it, but we do. But, going forward, with the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department, you guys need to, take it upon yourselves to put your chiefs and your first and second in command in the best possible position. And if that's, I don't know what that may take. That's, that's not my department. I've never, I don't know how that stuff really works that well. But that needs to be something that needs to be revamped without a doubt, no matter what happens. I've talked to several different people. Granted, they are, they're paid volunteer firemen, or excuse me, they're paid full-time firemen, and that's totally different than a volunteer fire department. And that's always the situation. Anytime I ask fire department questions, it's always like nobody ever knows the correct answer, because it's almost like two separate sets of guidelines, and that makes it extremely difficult. So going forward, it's not a decision I'm looking forward to, but all I know is that it has to be corrected, and we have to make it right for the people of Jamestown.
And I'm listening the same way you are. I'm hearing the same things you are. I'm very worried about the town and its insurance. It's very important. At the same time, these people have been working, coming in and volunteering for fires, even though it's not had as many people as we hoped for. But I feel like there's somebody doesn't know what to do. And by somebody, I mean anybody in the fire department. Maybe you do, but somebody doesn't know what to do to answer reports and things like that. And that really worries me, because this is stuff that has to be filled out every month in many cases. So what to do about it? I like the idea of having an administrator. I really do. I don't know whether to be a chief or not. I have no idea, but I need an administrator that can help those guys fill out paperwork and get it done, and help tell them what they need. but at the same time, we have to serve the town. That's what we're here for. So I'm really, I just really hate the way everything has come out. But I so appreciate volunteer fire department. My husband was one, my father-in-law was one, my brother-in-law was one, and I admire them for the time they put into anything. So, I don't know. I wish you were here, Ben. So that we could,
Well, I hear everything you say, Cookie. You know, and Matt and I over the past probably 6 months, we've discussed some ways to maybe revamp the fire department down there. And, you know, it's, do we do paid per run? Do we pay, you know, some sort of we've gone through several different scenarios, but honestly, I don't know if even doing a paid per run, I don't know how much difference that would make on, you know, getting the proper training and getting all that paperwork submitted. I don't know that would make a difference, you know, of the best thing for me to say is I feel like whoever is chief, no matter it's Matt, whoever it may be going forward, that person has to have some sort of help if membership isn't going to be willing to, you know, come in and help and help the chief out, do paperwork, do whatever trainings need to be done. I mean, it's not the town's guidelines, you know, it's a national guideline. There's nothing that we can do about it. We just have to follow along. And, you know, I get it. And it's a tough situation that we're in. But, you know, going back and forth over, you know, thinking about what needs to happen. And, you know, I feel like some sort of administrator down there would be the proper way to go, because at least they can say, you know, we have the training set up. None of our volunteers showed up to do the training. And we don't even get that now. You know what I mean? It's like a lack of records. It's a problem. And I'm not picking on, I don't want to pick on Matt. I don't want to pick on anybody out there at the fire department, but you know, it's something that has to be done, and it has to be done like now. We can't keep putting it off. It has to change.
I also want to point out that in the packet from ISO, what expectations should we have with correspondence and a turnaround? So, the specific resources to handle the retrogression across the country, please allow your retrogression analysis 1 to 2 business weeks. This is my fear. We today are at the end of the 2nd business week. I am worried that ISO, the retrogression team, would reach out to Matt. We may not hear about it for a month. That scenario is not out of the realm, because he didn't check it, he overlooked it, so on and so forth. Chief of the department is the correct way to go. To put someone down there that is boss, that is the department head. Like I said, he is not going to be able to tell them what they have to do. I would think that he would have a relationship with them and they could work together and everything would just transition and work accordingly. But at the end of the day, I do not think that the town is in a position to allow Matt Beaver email access. Someone that's responsible needs to have access to that email and respond accordingly. Now, I'm just going to tell you guys, everybody, I did not print this email out. The retro progression team reached out to Matt last week. Did you know that?
No.
Because the email is unopened. We can't afford not to put a chief in that department. We cannot afford it. These 1,950 people cannot afford it. I am sorry, I said to myself, I was not gonna get mad and worked up. I listened and followed the lead the last time. 18 months ago, when I wanted to appoint a fire chief, Matt, Ben, and Cookie, it takes time, and I conceded to that. And I'll be damned if I sat in this chair as a council member and a representative of this community, and I have shared with a few other people that I am going to hold the reins to this cart and I will drive it to the finish line. If I have to keep compiling evidence on why this is the correct decision, I will do that. I will not. I knew the last time that we were all together 18 months ago that this was a fight to be had, and I conceded, and I will not do it. I will not concede until there is a chief appointed to that fire department tonight. If you do not like Joe Weider to be your chief of that fire department with all of those certifications that I read off, I asked the council at a bare minimum, and I did not want to see this happen, at a bare minimum, appoint your town marshal as your fire chief of the fire department. Now, Aaron does not need the extra headaches. Aaron already has tons of paperwork and tons of work to do. But we, as the town council, people of this community, deserve to have a chief in there that we can rely and count on. Nobody wants to cause problems with the fire department. We all need the fire department. But the people of this community need these council members to make a decision to move this community in a positive forward direction. Anything else?
Well, I still would like the administrator part. But, Ben, what about you? Ben, can you hear me?
I can.
What do you think?
I like when you mentioned Joey Weeder. I think that would be a good fit down there. He's somebody the town can rely on. He's been a member of the town forever. And I wouldn't have any problem with that. With, either way, whether we do a administrator or a chief, my gut says we'll probably have pushback from the membership down there. But I mean, we're only getting, a handful of people on a run anyway. I hate to sound like that, but that's the truth. We're kind of bottom of the barrel as it is. Is it best to revamp it right now? Possibly. I think so.
Will we get any more volunteers? That's another thing.
Cookie, I don't know that we're getting many volunteers as it is. Matt's been trying for the last, almost 2 years that he's been a chief, and they've got one or two. It's just so hard to get people to be on volunteer fire departments. All the stuff that has to be gone through, it's almost impossible.
It's true. I know that.
I have a feeling that some of the membership that was lost within the last 2 years may return with this addition to the department, in my personal opinion.
I would second that. I believe Joe Weir would be a bountiful addition to both the town and the department as a paid position. That way he's getting a good backing of both departments. He has the certifications, and I think he would do a good job.
And the experience.
Do you have an administrator in mind?
Pardon me?
Do you have an administrator in mind? Other than Joe, do you have an administrator that you're thinking about taking over? Or asking to go down and run it? I'm just saying, you're on a time crunch with all of this. Is it gonna be 6 months before you find a head of that department to run it as administrator? Or do you take a man right now with these credentials that can run it tomorrow? Start changing things. I'm just saying, we're on a time crunch here.
Ben, can you hear the crowd?
I do.
Okay.
Well, as long as everyone else is chiming in, Joe and I didn't take this, when Shane came to Joe, it's not something we took lightly. This is a very big job. This is something that our whole family has been debating over for 2 or 3 days. We know that this is going to be a lot of work for our whole family. We have a 9-year-old, we're busy too, but I told Joe today, I was a little girl in a nightgown when my dad started having really bad diabetic episodes. And I knew that I could always count on people like Steve Lee to be there to take care of my dad. And I sat in our bedroom and watched Joe almost die 3 or 4 months ago in anaphylactic shock. And no one showed up from the Davestown Fire Department. Now, here nor there, the medics needed someone to help get my husband out of our house, and there was no one there. So reporting, whatever it is, it's more than that to us. It's, we've seen you guys save our family so many times, and that's what our community needs.
Mind if I speak for a second, Chief? I think the big thing, we're not here to point fingers at anybody. We're not here to attack any particular individual. We're here, this is a combination, I think, of a lot of things that have happened in the past. You have to sit here. If you guys want me to do this, I'm more than happy to do it. But you gotta understand, I'm not gonna worry about what happened back here. We have a goal to go forward, and I've got a spot to go to, that we're gonna go to. I need your guys' help. I need your guys' help as well, as a volunteer fire department, to get there. Now, I can do a lot of different things, and I can organize a lot of things, but I'm still gonna need these guys' help as well as yours to get there. We can make this back to where we had our rating of 6 again. I think this is a very easily attainable goal. We have 60 days to do two things. Just try to get some guys to respond and do some training. Once we accomplish those two, we're going to move on to the next two things. We're going to work on our other stuff. I will lay out a plan for these guys, and they'll, as their department, as their leader, as their chief, and make them stick to it. If they're not going to, then we're just going to have to part ways with them, do whatever we have to do. We're going to move forward, and we're going to make this about quality service. This was done 5 years ago by a volunteer. I know who done it, and I believe it was Jim Easton at the time, or Jeff Dean, one of the two. They knew how to fill out all that paperwork. It's a lot of paperwork, and it's very confusing when you look through it. And the biggest thing is I do have resources to go around and ask other people, whatever else, and be able to collaborate with other contacts that I've made through 30-some years I've been a firefighter. I started here, and I would really love to help you guys make this place awesome and be one of the best around like we have been before. Kind of discovered, I do see the potential here to get everybody on board and get everybody running back in the right direction. So I try not to get angry like Shane too, but it's just, I get angry sometimes because I get passionate. And I got angry, I think the last time I had an interaction with the guys in the fire department. I apologize, but that was just my passion, because I knew what you guys needed. And I'm here to help, if you guys want my help, to be the chief.
I have a question. If you appoint him as chief, what would his duties be versus me's?
As I stated a minute ago, Joe would be appointed chief by the Jamestown Town Council. He would be the department head of fire department building, equipment, and records. So Joe will come up with a list of the equipment that needs to be tested, certified, inspected. He will make sure that the building is up to standards. Any repairs will be presented to the council, not to the utility superintendent. And he will create a path for the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department for your training to assure that you are getting the training you're supposed to have. I have no intentions or desire or want to get rid of our Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department. Don't want that at all. I would like to appoint Joe Reeder as the fire chief of the fire department and him to work hand in hand with the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department. But please do understand that if that fire department does not start getting their training, certifications, and paperwork in a timely manner, the town will be forced to move on, terminate their contract, and create a Jamestown Fire Department. All of this has to happen. All this has to happen in a short amount of time. A very, very short amount of time. It's in everyone's best interest to work together and to move on, because
job description. Is that something that's necessary?
Is it necessary if there's a
Job description? This is a different position.
At this point in time, I mean, my understanding would be that it would be a paid role for the town. So it would be part of the salary ordinance, would be acting as in a volunteer capacity, but once it's paid, I think there would need to be a job description. The salary ordinance would need to be amended to include that to the extent that the council decided that it needs to be paid. I think it just, generally speaking, the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department is a separate, distinct legal entity from the town. So what it sounds like is being proposed is the town would appoint a town fire chief to hopefully work with the volunteer fire department to fix some of these issues, which I think they're able to do. So.
There will be a lot of moving parts with this. There's a lot of moving parts. There's gonna be parts that are gonna start, and then there'll be follow-ups behind it because of the position that we've been put in. And our backs against the wall, we have a limited amount of time to focus on correcting the ISO. That's the number one, first, most thing that's most important, is to correct this in our 12 months. Then, once we get on a path and we know we're projecting forward, we can decide if that position needs to be paid. What would the job description look like? What would the pay look like? And then we can go into what can we do for the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department? Can we offer them $20 a run, $20 a meeting, $20 a training? And then at the end of the year, you get your 100, and then your whatever you showed up. Now, Matt Beaver, he would get $6,000, and Steve Leak's gonna get $4,000. 500, because those guys are the ones who respond to all the calls and training. You know, it's not a secret. I shared that with Matt last year. Matt Beaver responded to the most. Fred Long, Mr. Lee, Mike Calvers, he was number 4. Those are your 4 people, and Mr. Melvin, Aaron. Aaron was new last year. He came on really late, but he had quite a few talent marks for no longer than he was there. But there's a handful of you that are responding to a lot of calls. I think Matt was over almost 50. But, you know, we have to structure something like that. It's gonna be rough. I'm not gonna sit here and cherry coat it. We are in for a ride. And the reason I say that is SB1 is going to impact us. We're going to lose money. General fund. There's talk of restructuring. I have not seen any models for SB1, what it would do for our community. I don't want to get into that, but it's not going to be easy. We're going to have to work together and figure out a path forward. Ben?
Yeah.
Do you have anything?
Not anything that I haven't already addressed. It's a tough situation, almost I would say a dire situation. So I think we gotta make what's the best decision for the town of Jamestown.
That being said, I would entertain a motion to appoint Joe Weeder as the town fire chief, effective immediately.
Can Ben make a motion?
Either one of you can make a motion.
Ben, you go ahead.
I make a motion to move on to Joey Weeder as Jamestown Volunteer Fire Chief.
No. He is not part of the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department organization. Joe Peter would be appointed the Jamestown Fire Chief.
Well, I move to appoint Joey Weeder as Jamestown Fire Chief,
Effective immediately.
effective immediately.
Second.
All in favor?
Oh, it's been so long. Carol Lee. Shane Childers,
Aye.
Ben Stokes,
Aye.
You make sure that you get with Joe after the meeting and get him access to the emails.
yes. it's-
And then, Joe, any emails that are to that account, that are to their organization, need to be forwarded to them immediately. So if you get any emails that is to the Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department, forward to them immediately.
Okay.
Clerk Treasurer?
So, this, payment.
Excuse me, but the fever's playing.
Go, Caitlin.
Not
Thank you, Tim. Hey, tell Doug to get a hold of us if everything's okay. Or you can send me a text message. Thank you.
Okay, so, we're changing insurance providers, or health insurance providers. We've been trying to get on the chamber benefit arrangement of Indiana trusts plan for the last 3 years. Every year we try for it, and this year we qualified. It's gonna save the town about $918 a year. Our previous, health insurance will be increasing 11.79% this year. Last year, the increase was 8%. The chamber benefit, while you can't predict the future, has only increased 4% each year for the last 2 years. The out-of-pocket maximum will decrease by $2,000 and the copay will decrease by 10%. And I would like to schedule a budget meeting sometime in July. So.
Hey.
Second?
Pick a day, get it over with, get your phone out, Josh, Joe. Aaron,
That's what we said to you. I'm seeing it right now.
What did you look at?
Well, what date's best for everybody else? I mean, 15th, I have a budget workshop, but they don't last all day.
15 is meter reading, so I'm busy
Okay,
with that.
it's gonna be an evening,
Okay, evening, then
I have got to get to work.
evenings I'm mostly open, other than,
I
I think
have
we're gonna
a
have
question
planning
while you guys
commission
are deciding
special
this
meetings.
part.
So
Do you need a special meeting to, I gotta,
for the planning commission,
no, a special meeting to accept the bid that you guys took under advisement?
I assume that Chris will let Josh know.
Correct. There will be a special meeting. There will be a special meeting that have to be set up for that.
Yeah, I thought so. I just,
We're
it
under
wasn't
timeline.
mentioned, and I
Right.
wanted to make sure.
It's
that
under
didn't slip
timeline, so
through.
we'll have to.
I'm available the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th.
Now, is that during the day or in the evening?
In day or evening.
We have to do this in the evening.
Okay,
I'm agreeable any day that need be done. Let's just say the 22nd, which is a Tuesday.
Josh said Tuesday.
Tuesday, 22nd.
Yep.
Ben?
That should be fine with me.
Aaron?
Got what time?
Are you on vacation?
Okay.
Okay. Good day.
Well, no, we can be on Zoom.
I can either do it on Zoom or I can find it.
Do you have another day that works?
'29th, 15th, so 29th, 15th is open. 29th, be fine with you?
Oh, no. Okay, yeah.
Tuesday
is 29th.
Do that better?
29th is, our park board meeting.
We'll make it 22nd.
Sure.
Yeah.
6:30 work?
For everybody?
6:30 work for everybody?
Yeah.
Ben?
Yep, should be good for me.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. If we schedule this as a special public meeting, budget,
Doesn't have to be a public meeting. You can have a budget meeting.
if all three council members are here,
You can have a budget meeting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's an exception. I'll double check
Yes,
that. but
there
I'm pretty
is.
sure there's an exception
Absolutely there
for
is.
budget discussions.
okay?
You gotta adopt the budget at a public meeting.
If we need a special, if we need a meeting to have, accept that bid,
It may need to be earlier, I'll find out.
Yeah,
for
he
sure
said-
tomorrow.
okay?
Because if it does, it's gonna be a quick.
So this is just a budget meeting,
Right.
okay? July 22nd.
Josh, does that have to be a public hearing?
Hearing, no, we just gotta open
Okay,
it, we
so-
just gotta open it up and say, we're accepting this bid,
So
they
it's just
vote on it, sign it, and go.
It's 24 or 48 or.
Yes.
Okay. Right. That was one of the things. If not, it was 2 months. If not, it was 2 months we did. You're going to do it again. And start another 30 days.
I think it's a fair assessment to give them the opportunity to work before sending the notice. Do you agree, Ben?
Yes.
Do you agree? So no written notice is being given to the fire department. Hope that you have a good working relationship with Joe and we can all canoe down the river into the sunset. Patrick?
I don't have anything, but I'm happy to answer questions from the council if you have them.
Josh?
Hey, Shane, just a quick info on me. I'm getting close to battery life. If I fade out with no battery, is that a problem?
Josh, can talk about it.
All right, update on downtown sidewalk street lighting. They will be in town starting next week to do directional boring and that fun stuff. Had a pre-construction meeting on the Darlington Villas today. They will be in town within the next 2 weeks, removing the trees that need removed up there and starting dirt work. I met with Lock Miller yesterday that we signed a contract on the evaluate the road extension. They had to update a few things that after our meeting, we had some suggestions and redo some things, and then we're going to try to sit down with Mr. Purdy and discuss it. Sewer project, we're still slated for August. They're going to have an update meeting sometime this month. As soon as get some dates where everybody can be there. The other thing in Darlington Villas, there's not going to be gas. They're going to be all electric homes. So I am going to put this out there currently under our ordinance. In all cases where the monthly consumption is in excess of the cover that will provide the deposit, the town may increase the amount of the deposit required, but such deposit shall not exceed the amount of any estimated 60-day service. So we have very few homes anymore that are all electric. With this being a housing addition, we have very much possibility that you have some investors that come in and buy some of these houses and make them rentals. I'm suggesting that we look into making a all electric deposit, because you're looking at almost 45 days by the time we shut somebody off for non-payment. And you're looking at just one house here in town. In the winter months, they get up to almost $600 a month for heating. That's at relatively square footage. So we don't want to see where we get stuck holding all that money. So with your permission, I would like to work with Lori and see about coming up with a all electric deposit for renters out there.
I think that's a good idea, Josh.
So, we also started flushing hydrants Monday. I could not finish today because FTIC is only a 2-week shutdown and decided that they were going to fill their tanks back up. So we will be finishing tomorrow. So other than that, anybody have any questions for me? All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Shane, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm having to move positions and I'm going to lose my Wi-Fi. I might drop off. Is that a problem?
Patrick said no.
Okay, I can't hear, and they closed down one side of where we're staying at, and I got to move to another. So if I fall off, that will be the reason. I'll stay with you as long as I can.
Thank you.
Good evening. For the month of June, we had 30 traffic stops, 7 citations issued, 19 breaking lanes, counted, 1 crash, and 4 runs assisting other law enforcement, 5 runs assisting fire EMS, 6 case reports, 1 for child neglect, 2 for harassment, 1 for resisting law enforcement, 1 for possession of meth, and 1 for mischief. Had 2 arrests, 1 was a criminal outright, 1 was a warrant served, 1 civil disturbance, 7 reports of suspicious activity, 3 investigations, 2 welfare checks, 6 extra patrols, 1 funeral escort, 27 police services, that's our catch-all term for lockouts, flat tires, public information requests, things like that. The 1 general problem. We had 3 animal complaints with a pair of skunks impounded. We had 12 local ordinance services I put 2 remediations or abatements by the city. I want to verify that with Lori. We have continuous abatements on at least 2 properties, and it's my understanding that somebody's still mowing those. Is that correct? I may need to do a citation on both of those. It'll be retroactive to whenever it did. We had 10 local ordinance warnings, 12 visits. This also includes a couple of what would be considered solicitor violations, kind of showed up in force last week, various companies. And we kind of herded them like cats down to the town hall, very patiently wait their little permit and background check. Just a reminder, if you encounter a solicitor, feel free to ask, kind of see your permit from the town. I would say more often than not, no. But, and then they've been advised, when they do come get their permit, if they're told to leave your property, they just need to leave. They don't need to bring the Kirby vacuum into your dining room. They just need to go. So, hours spent on ordinances, 3.65. Now, I know this because we're using new software. It is, yeah, it's very efficient, and I'm very happy with it. There's a couple little things that probably more of a learning curve for me than anything. But so far, it's monumentally changed how quickly I can and efficiently I can get that stuff done. So it's been great. In reference to the skunks, we removed a couple of baby skunks that have been orphaned from residents and took them down to North Salem to the Indiana Skunk Rescue. I don't know if anybody does their giving towards the end of the year or wants to do something for a write-off. This lady took them without question. She showed me her setup. Very, very cool and very worthwhile. I understand her vaccines are very expensive, and so anytime anybody wants to give for animals, you know, and you should give to the Humane Societies. There's no doubt in my mind you should do that. But Skunk Rescue is an awesome place, so she takes care of them, looks after them, they get released, and it was a pretty cool experience. We had an incident with a crash yesterday involving me and a vehicle pursuit of a stolen vehicle, which had been tracked to Jamestown. There was a couple of pursuits. BCSO was involved in one. I got involved in one. Town vehicle was damaged, but it's drivable. Looks like it's limited to the push bar and the front bumper cover. Maybe a little bit of metal work behind the bumper cover, but we're gonna take it around and get it looked at. And, see if it'll take good fix. It's in service. It's driving. So that's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you.
Ran into the building.
It's
Right.
Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department ended June 2025 had the following runs. An hour total, EMS 8, fire 5, MVA 3, 0 hazmat, runs missed 4, total run hours 9.25 hours, training hours 13.5 hours, administration hours 31, meeting hours 5, and on station 10. June runs have been emailed to the town council members. I emailed a list of items over to all be surplus. These items include, which we heard earlier, these items will be scrapped and some old and broken equipment that will be trashed. M&F Mobile Services had to do a repair on Rescue 241. Excuse me if I pronounce this word wrong. The Kuzmal air compressor went bad, which provides air to the brake line system. When the truck is not running, he set it up to be plugged in to the airline system and the firehouse. The cost of the repair was $185.33. We are still waiting on the valve to be replaced. Fire department and the Legion are going to be putting the monument in on July 13th. They are hosting a meeting with the IVFA on Monday, July 7th at 6 p.m. Matt has been working with the JCP and the fish fry that is coming up on August 2nd. We will be working around the firehouse with JCP on getting everything ready. Working on making changes to our bylaws to change to include run pay. This will help increase people's interest in joining membership and morale. I'm going to meet with Lori this month and start going over the budget. We are looking for new volunteer firefighters. 676-9700. Building and planning. I thought that might be Shannon up there.
It is.
Permits is pending issuance is 1, permits issued is 1, certificate of occupancy completion issued is 1, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 inspections for the month of June. JCP.
This is for the fish fry for this year. I kind of drew it out, just sketched it out. We propose to put a fence in front of the pond for the festivities to keep unwanted guests out of the pond and just decrease the liability. All that we propose, just a snow fence, put up a snow fence. It's temporary and it goes up easy, it comes down easy. I'll work with Josh, but we're thinking sometime in the middle of the week, put it up before the festivities. The rest of the area out there in that lot, we were going to put up essentially caution tape and use that as parking. That way, it's just more available parking for people, I hope we have to use it all, for sure. Working with the parks and they are, it's going to work out and we've got plenty of room for the farmers market. So it looks like everything is going to be A-okay with your approval on the placement of the fence. I think it'll be a good preventive maintenance, I guess. So, and all the materials will be donated. FTIC is going to help out with that and myself, providing materials for all that. So, any questions?
Josh, that work for you? Sure. That's a really good idea.
Actually, it wasn't my idea. I can't remember whose it was. I can't take credit for it, but it is a good one. And we'll probably even print up a couple signs, no fishing or swimming at that time,
Hey,
Keep out.
don't buy too much of that, because I do have quite a bit.
Good. So that'll save on my budget as well, so. That's it.
Asked you, Luke, Joe.
Yeah, Joe's got a copy.
I'm not diving into that. Matt has been working with you.
Yeah.
I'd say just let it go.
All right.
But I do want you to loop Joe into what is transpiring
Yeah,
at the fire department property.
and I'll have a meeting with him and get him caught up with everything, him and Matt.
But I say that you two have been handling this the whole time. If he's willing to keep working with you, and you two do your thing.
Yeah, I think it's gonna work out. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Have you done a resolution for them to have,
We can do it. Oh, shoot.
no, you cannot. unless you do it at your special.
We're
We're
having
having
a
a special
special
meeting.
meeting. Thank you.
It's not for the next, for their next thing, so. Okay, there's one.
I completely
Because I
expect
don't
it
think
to.
we were officially asked the council for permission, so it didn't come up.
She said that's what they use the fire department building.
You would have to make a resolution for insurance purposes.
I don't know. Maybe because last year, maybe, it was after the council meeting in August. That's why I was looking at the calendar. Okay, RDC. We had a special meeting last Wednesday night and the commission voted to hire Tecton Construction Management to manage our sidewalk and lighting project. Given all the complications we've had with TV engineering, and we found out they didn't have it in their contract to actually oversee that the construction went according to their specifications, which I would think you would want to, but. So we've hired Tecton. They will be on site daily during the construction phase to coordinate with the contractors to be sure everything's handled according to the specifications received from the engineer. Tecton has already had a pre-construction meeting with the contractors, and work is scheduled to begin on Monday, which
Thursday,
is it Thursday now?
this Thursday.
Oh, okay.
This Thursday, they're coming in and marking everything out next week. DC's gonna come in and demo out what gets marked, so by the 8th, they will be in here doing the board.
Okay. Which is a full 2 weeks ahead of what DD had said they were starting, so we're already positive on this. I will say that Mike Roberts with Tecton actually reached out to the contractors before he even was awarded the business. So we have not yet signed our contract with them. Our attorneys looked over the agreement. Patrick's looking it over just from the viewpoint of the town, and once he gives the okay, I'll be signing that contract. The RDC also approved an additional dollar amount for use for any contingencies that may arise, which we're sure there will be some. The town council may spend up to $45,000 for necessary expenditures related to the project that were not included in the original bids. This is not for items that were overlooked by the contractors or because their labor rates went up, but rather unforeseen items that are necessary to complete the project. If the total is less than $45,000 needed for the contingency, the RDC retains the unused money. So it's not just $45,000 we're giving the town council to spend, however. With that being said, the RDC respectfully requests that the town council consider appointing a council member to preliminarily approve change orders, with such approval to be formally approved by the council at their next meeting in order to avoid any construction delays. We don't want something to come up next week and then you can't get approval to change it for a month. So we just ask that you do that. And our next meeting will be Thursday, July 10th at 6:30.
Tina,
Yes.
that approval have to be done at our special meeting,
I guess as long
or do
as,
you want it done tonight?
I would prefer to be done tonight in case anything comes up in the next week or so.
Okay.
I would hope nothing comes up that quick, but the way this has been going, I wouldn't.
We'll go next week and start getting going.
Exactly.
The only thing I would note is there are statutory requirements on percentage of
The
contract.
45,000 is under the limit.
Okay, I
It
had
was
to
like
look it up.
54 something. So the 45 is under.
Okay,
Yes. Oh, so you were gonna highlighted it. That was Adam's wording.
So we need to entertain a motion to approve someone to be the preliminary approved to change orders.
I eat cookie, you were Shane. Since Ben's not on here. No, they should be.
I like
And that's how it works when you're not here, you get appointed. Well, you gotta be able to get a hold of them during the day, though.
Unless you want.
If I needed, I'd have my husband help me, okay? No, seriously. And I move that we consider appointing a council member to preliminarily approve change orders to be formally approved by the council at the next meeting in order to avoid construction.
I think you want to move that you appoint Shane to all of
Yes,
that.
and I move we appoint Shane.
Unless you want to do it.
I'll second Cookie's motion. All in favor? Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Now, doesn't it matter since Ben's not here?
I do it anyways.
Okay. Carol Lee. Aye. Shane Childers.
Aye.
And Lori, I would just note that he had technical difficulties and fell off.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's Shane, you understand?
Thank you.
Just checking.
Jason? Bring us home.
Evening.
Quickly.
All right. So, Nature Park's doing great with the trees. We went through them on Monday. Also went through about a week ago, just walked through. Some of the tubes are coming off already because they're just ready to continue growing past the tube restrictions. Pollinator garden. Just this past Monday, myself and Joe Bach from Boone County Invasives planted 22 plants in pollinator garden that are native species that will help just fill it out from all the weeds that will not really put out. Farmers market's doing great. I only have two other things, but first, next meeting, it's on the agenda, it says the 30th, but actually it's the 29th. 30th Wednesday, a short one member. And I have two questions. First question, I haven't asked. So I haven't, nor have I received any kind of information on the DORA update and where we're at.
We're not anywhere, we haven't moved forward.
Okay, sounds good. And then the last one's more of a me thing than it is a park board thing, and that's the flower pots with this sidewalk project. What are we gonna do about those?
Those are so beautiful this year.
I know.
I do want to say, not to interrupt where you're going, but I wholeheartedly agree with
Yes.
Ms. Cookie.
Thank you.
That I think that those flower pots this year looked their best they have looked in a long time.
Thank you, appreciate that. So hopefully next year.
That's a personal kudos to you.
Yes.
Thank you. People stop running them over.
So Josh and I have had this conversation,
Me and Ryan have had the conversation too a little bit.
and I believe that, I don't know if it was Ryan or Josh or who, we're gonna start on the north side.
Okay.
And I think that we just shift them to the south side, but I don't want to clutter up. Now we're gonna double everything.
Yeah, because if you take them over, then you gotta bring them back, and then you gotta bring the other ones back with them, and then you gotta take those, and then you gotta put those back. What if we put them at the park?
Have you got equipment for
We're
that?
gonna put them in.
Well, me and Jason had talked about that, and I'm going to have to make time with my equipment to get it moved. So as little as possible, but he's got a good idea of where to put them.
So,
Along the playground.
with the sidewalks moving forward faster now, it sounds like, right?
I don't think the building is gonna be progressing at the same time that
I
that
think
is.
it's going to.
Okay, well, if not, okay, so some of those boxes, if the corners are done, we could put the boxes closest to the corners on the actual corners. Because it's my understanding the corners that they just redid, they're done messing.
No.
No, that's what we're talking about, the street light.
So if you pay, most people don't pay attention and don't know, but some of those corners have old light poles in them. Where they poured the new concrete around the old light pole. That light pole's coming out.
So they're gonna have to
So
report.
we're gonna have to redo it. And I think there's 3.
Well, there's 22 pots.
So my understanding, by the way, after talking to and having our pre-construction meeting at the end, since the new poles are shorter than old poles, I believe they're gonna come in and actually bore and demo both sides where the lights are going. And start setting new poles and pulling wires all at once. So
Okay.
basically by the 24th of the month, I will be able to start taking down the old poles. So that way there is no missing of lighting.
I'd say just work with it.
Well, then
Ryan,
yeah, my only other 2 suggestions would be the nature park or the fire department. You
Can
know,
we
those
just
two
put them
big
out here in
areas.
this parking lot?
There's no room in this parking lot.
22.
Yes, there is.
Not for all those benches and
The
flower
benches,
pots.
the benches and the trash cans, we're gonna
Right
take
in
out
that
to the fire
parking
department.
Yes, all those are getting shipped to the fire department.
Yeah, those,
With your blessing, of course.
yeah, we've kind of decided that, or at least decided to suggest to take those, the benches and the trash cans up to the fire departments. For one, it will help out with the fish fry thing, have some benches out there, people sit on, extra trash can or.
Yeah.
But the flower pots, I think you either got the downtown parks, fire department, or the nature park. And come up with a better idea. I mean, that's, I did initially like the shift them over thing, but you know, that is a lot of work and time consumption on whoever.
It just crowds up the sidewalk a lot.
True.
I would like to just get them completely off the sidewalk, but at least keep them close where people can enjoy them too, so.
Should we do it, put down in the next park?
Well, the only issue with down there is the parking lot's kind of small and you've got a lot of people
Put
that's.
in the grass
around
area.
You can put it in the grass and
Yeah.
by the wall.
And then it's easier for Jason to water them all when he's down there in the trees.
Yeah.
The grass.
It will damage it, it won't, that's gonna grass is easily.
Yeah.
Wherever you put it, it's gonna.
That's it.
That's going on.
Okay, how about we do that? Line them around
The walking man.
yeah, just like.
you go with that, Josh?
Yep, that's
Put
right.
some at the fire station to make it pretty for the fish fry.
That would be kind of cool too. But for the sake of ease, I would say everything in one spot. So it's either the nature park or down there, one or the other. So I'd rather be down there where people frequent.
Yeah.
Just kind of horseshoe around
Yep,
the walking.
that's what I think. So we can do that, but I'm happy to speak.
Yeah. No, I got nothing else.
And Josh, that's not gonna, hurt with the mowing, right? That's what I was
We'll
concerned
figure it out.
We put them tight enough together to where you don't have
That's
to
what I'm
look
saying.
at them.
Those
The
are
thing of
pretty,
it is,
those
they're
are
talking
square, so they should.
30 to 45 days to stand for completion.
So 2 or 3 mows.
We'll get it figured
And then
out.
I'll go out there weeding them if I have to. That's all I got.
Well, that way it's easier for you to water them.
Yeah, yeah.
Our board
I
is
can
still looking for an appointment. The RDC meeting July 10th. Park board meeting July 30th.
29th.
29.
That's in this spring.
29th. Park board meets the 29th. Plan commission, meets July 3rd at 6:30 or directly following the BZA. BZA meets at 6 PM on July 3rd. Are there any comments from the public? Yes, ma'am.
Hopefully it'll be quick. Since we've been talking about the sidewalk, did you, as town council, have any input or like stuff of the sidewalks? Or did whoever putting them in say this is the way they're gonna be?
One more time.
I think I understand what she's trying to say. So,
Council picked, voted on it and picked
The
up.
sidewalks, the corners and stuff?
the corners of the state, that's all the state. We have no
So you
say.
had nothing to do
No.
with that? Okay. That's what I thought.
No input whatsoever.
Did you have a complaint about it?
Well, the library seems to be awfully strange.
Isn't that,
Will you get a piece of paper from Lori and
Formal complaint?
give me a complaint on that? Because I have severe concerns and we're not the only ones that, and I am not picking on Cookie, I just have used her for an example while walking through all this. That drop off is almost 10 inches.
In this case,
I thought.
It has no handrail. And I can see Miss Cookie walking out of that in the bright sun and the real white sidewalk and misjudging. I can see her falling. I can see her falling the other way coming in because those
Actually, I thought in the plans, when I reviewed those plans, I thought it had it in the plan, railing in the plans.
It looks like this.
I was pretty sure there was railings in those plans.
why they have that step, why is that just slope?
You couldn't leave it like that.
Because they had two sets, they had a set for that and a set in front of the old post office.
But yes, there are concerns of that, and I do have concerns of some of our elders in the community that visit the library severely hurt themselves.
or just clumsy people?
What, you gotta go there?
Is there anything else?
All right, thank you.
Answer your question.
Yeah, the reason that I asked,
I really do want you to fill that paper out.
okay, I will, but the reason that I asked was because I actually did fall off of that, yes, sidewalk.
Off
It's not my intention, but I fell off. So I had this stupid. Recall that the state part of River Town Council, the state said that all of their things can be approved by the chair. So I just was wondering whether they could get in or
Ours was.
Ours were not. We have nothing to do with the state.
All right, okay, that's what I thought, thank you.
Anything further? Cookie,
I move we adjourn this meeting.
second? All in favor?
I
Meeting adjourned at 9:02 PM.